Good evening, everyone. Well, good morning for me, good afternoon for me, good morning for NA, and good evening for Asia Surfer. And welcome to another tournament stream. It's not just any stream, it is the stream for the grand finals for the Asia Server. We are in the room, so I can show you the garage. We still have to wait a bit before we can actually go into the room, though. We're going to have Risk and P1 battle it out for the championship, basically. Whoever wins this matchup is the grand champion of the whole new way to play tournament. And I'm really curious to see what we're going to get and what kind of matches we're going to get, because Asia is always a bit different and we might get like these sort of like YOLO rushes and pushes and everything, or we might suddenly see a very tactical and slow building game. We don't know. So we're going to wait for that. Let's have a quick look at the chart, shall we? Like I said, Risk and P1 now. Yesterday we saw GV get knocked out. The day before that we saw GRS get knocked out. And it's gonna be exciting. At least for me. Hope you guys are going to enjoy it too. Bit of house cleaning. My balcony door is open because it's way too warm here to basically suffocate with the door closed. That means that you might hear traffic noises every now and again. Nothing I can do about that, sorry. And of course there is going to be a bonus code on this stream somewhere, somehow. You're just going to have to be patient and wait for me to actually show it. So yeah, as one of the subs said in the chat, time to... how did he say it again? I found it so funny. New stream, new day to feed my gambling addiction for free. Basically, yeah, that's kind of the thing though. Gambling, of course, isn't good, but in this case, you get some free stuff. And the free stuff might be worthwhile if you have like a good draw, or it might really suck if you do not. So, when I do show the code and you do get the grades, I hope that RNG will be with you and give you something good. So, this is basically the room that we're in now. Like I said, Risk versus P1. We see P1 ready with 5 Type 71s, an LT and a mouse for Middleburg. And on the other side we see 5 Type 71s, a 60TB and a 215B. Of course, yesterday I showed a replay from Sugo in the 215B and he showed himself to be very OP in it. Of course, that is slightly different than tool games. Tool games always take more. And yeah, we're just going to have to wait and watch and see how it all goes down. Little under 2 minutes left before we go into the first match. Today we have a best of 9, which means that the first team to reach 5 victories is going to be the grand champion. Previous rounds it was best of 7 or even best of 3 at some point during the qualifiers. But yeah, best of 7 during the top 4 and all. So this is the first and only best of 9 that we're getting. Already we see some code messages, but it's not too bad. At per request of Mutsu, my main moderator here for the Asia streams, I've activated slow mode for the chat and also made it so that people have to be a sub for at least 20 minutes before they can chat there. Apparently the delay is caught up and I'm actually talking on stream now as well. Little under a minute left to go before we see the first game here. Both these teams have shown some very epic moves. We had Silver absolute man of the match at some point. And anything can still happen. There's no, of course, we have no matches yet. But you can bet your ass that basically the pressure will be on both of these teams. They will be tense and they kind of need to relax into it. And that's always very difficult when there's so much riding on this. Let's see. Also for the people that are commenting on the fact that this account has a very large amount of gold. It's a press account. It's supposed to have that. It's not my main account. But yeah. And let's see. All the Type 71s. 2 different tanks on each side here. And there we go with the first game. You no longer see the tank that is spectating. Well, we are still apparently using a slot. I have to make sure that that is the case. But I do believe that that's the case. That's why we always choose the light. So that we do not affect the heavy spawn. Because a heavy will take a lot longer to get somewhere than a light. Frost spawned in the hill. So did Apex, of course. But Apex is a light, so that makes sense. And Frost is going straight for the cap. Apex in an interesting spawning position that did not quite work out as they thought it would. B and C both being kept. Styx has been spotted. We have Mandalorian there to protect base A. But he is a bit alone, so they know that there's someone there, they just do not know whom is there. Apex, not sure why he fired that. He does get spotted for it, Mandalorian, I mean. And now we've got Apex capping base A. If you can get away with that, I mean, I can't properly show it to you because he's using the building very effectively here. But that is the cap they will not have wanted him to have. And now the pressure will be on Risk to get the dominance back. That being said, though, the city is easier to take than the hill generally, so could still be tricky. At the same time, it is a tour game. Frost going down into the city. Kappas taking a defensive position there. Frost does get spotted. Apex at the back there, and Frost is just very cheekily just going in there. I mean, he can't expect that they're actually going to let him. Styx losing some HP there. Firkin. And it is a bit of a trap. He does lose a little bit of HP for it, but not all that much. At the same time, he is keeping them from getting points from it. Now if Kappa's taking the position instead. Frost right behind him. They are shooting at him. But the damage is not quite being done. They're all careful doing this. And that was a track shot. It did not reset the base. Sugu getting farmed on the other side. Pixel's losing quite a bit of HP there though. And now Risk has the base. But they need to be careful. Juicy losing quite a bit of HP as well. Erling being quite forwards here. Loses HP for it. Now have Kappas pushing in, going after Apex. And he gets taken out first. Base B is being kept back again by the mouse. Erling is being set upon, but is about to get some help. Helix still alive, does still get a shot in. Erling is almost gone. Frost has been taken out. No idea what Terran was shooting. It wasn't Erling. And now we have got Cobra taking out Erling. Base A is being kept again. There goes Juicy with a hugging kill. Theron almost gone. And now it is 4 versus 3. Mandalorian pushing in quite aggressively here. Does still get a shot into Styx. Styx has some nice corpses as his armor. And that's added armor there. Styx, now moving from that position, is about to get nuked. There he goes. Cobra gets taken out as well. Now it's just Firkin. But Risk already has the game on points. Oh my god. All the code messages. GG. Very well played by Risk here. This is what I meant with it's easier to take the city than the hill. Game not really loading properly for me, but here we go with the team results. It was relatively close. And I did think with Mandalorian pushing in like that it might not quite work out the way that they wanted it to. Nice damage spread all around though. 1 minute and 20 seconds left to go before we go into the second game of Middleburg. P1 now ready with 5 Type 71s, an IS-4 and an LT. And on the other side we see the 60p and the 215B staying. And potentially 5 Type 71s. Let's see. 46 seconds left to go. Yes, from what I've understood, that the code that's going to be shown on the EU stream today on the official on the official channel will be a global code, so should work for all servers. It's only this code that is limited to Asia, and of course NA's code tonight will be limited to NA. But that is what Wargaming has said. Do not shoot me if that turns out to be different, because that's what we have been told. And here we go. Second game of the grand finals for the new way to play. Basically summer season. And after this, since I do not get to commentate on the EUs later tonight, I get to go to my mum's place where it's nice and cool. A lot better than where I'm at right now. And then I will watch from there. Mandalorian and Frost both spawning in the hills. And we have Pixels heading towards base C as well. Frost gets spotted, Mandalorian does not. Frost going for the cap. And of course the rest of P1 is arriving there. Base A is being kept. He might not get away with it. Mandalorian actually gets that shot in, but also keeps them from getting base C. Now we have Helix there. Frost making a quick look and seeing that pretty much everyone is there. But now he has to be... But look at what Risk is doing. Going outside to go after Pixels just that fast. Erling takes some damage. They're actually blocking... Look at this. They're blocking Pixels to make sure that he cannot angle correctly. To make sure that he does not bounce any shots. Erling has lost a lot of HP for it though. But Firkin is also almost gone. Gets absolutely deleted here. Frost takes a hit. And basically they're now just rolling in further. Going after Cobra now. Because that is the closer target. Erling gets taken out. Kappa's not going to live long either. They're trying to get all the shots, and Sugu is blocking people to avoid his teammates getting shot. Theron there, not looking too healthy. What a move by Risk here. Absolutely brutal. Styx almost gone. Kappas gets taken out. Too much mobility here. Actually, look at this. They're doing it again. They're basically using their vehicles to keep a tank in place to block him and keep him from running off. That is so cheeky. And he actually gets hugged to death by Silver, who blocks him a little bit further. Now Helix is the last one alive. And there he goes. Absolutely brutal game here. Very cleverly played by Risk. Motorcycle outside. Who took off just like Risk did here? This is the last Asia livestream for this season because it's the grand finals. You can't get further than that. Brilliant play by Risk. Basically sort of like that flanking on the hill. It took too long for Apex to get back up there and help out. And so they already started with gun advantage. And then they took out one of the tanks so quickly and they gave them another one. And another one. And it just... So clever. Very well done. Also the focus fire was on point here. One minute left before we go into the third match of this best of 9. We're going on to Normandy. New map, new chances. Hopefully P1 will be able to bounce back from this because, like I always say, as a streamer you always hope for tiebreakers. So you want to see it go up very evenly. P1 now taking a mouse, 2 VK72s and 4 Type 71s. Versus 4 Type 71s, 2 LTs and a Yo. So we have armor versus mobility basically. Very curious how that is going to work out, because that armor can make all the difference, but at the same time, the lack of mobility on a map with 4 bases can also be very costly depending on what tanks are left later on. So let's see. And here we go into the third game. And this is always the thing, like in randoms, I would generally choose mobility over armor, but this is tool game, so it can work out really differently. Also curious to see how the Yo will do. We see some very epic Yo games. Silver heading towards the middle. Sugu already there for a quick cap. And we have P1 crossing over, but not actually going into the base. Theron does get spotted though. As does Kappas, who lands his shot but manages to bounce the ones fired at him. We have Mandalorian not going for base A, but there's no one there. Styx pushing into the middle together with Apex. The armor moving into place. He does get hit though. So does Apex. They're trying to shoot Kappas, but it's not really working out. Cobra in the way there. Gets shot from base B now. And this might be very difficult. Because this is the thing. You can have all this armor, but I'm never a fan of being at the plane area. They've taken base B. Base A has been taken now by Risk as well. Kappa's out in the open. They want to get Silver. Silver is playing cheekily though. Pixel seems to have some ping issues. Helix is almost gone. Gets taken out. Base C is being stolen. Base B is being capped. Big reset though on Frost. Pixels going after Silver. But that might be very costly. Apex got set on fire. Gets taken out in the middle. Silver is running around the buildings. Kappas running off to try and survive and at the same time take out tanks. He manages to not get killed for that and takes out Cobra. We have Styx being focused on here. Oh, that shot misses as well. And now it is 7 versus 3. Pixels losing a lot of HP, just crossing over. Sugu running around. Taking out Theron. And now it's just Firkin and Pixels there. And Silver is still alive. Cheekily getting shots in. They saved the mouse for last. And this is sort of like a meme for me. Because I remember earlier years needing to get really frustrated with Asia. Because they always focused the mouse first instead of last. They saved the mouse for last. Again, very well played by Risk. I think P1 just seems a bit lost. Not quite knowing what to do. Pushing their things in positions where it doesn't quite work out. And they get a bit in each other's way, which isn't helpful. And then they push, but it sort of like didn't push altogether. It was strange. I think miscommunication somewhere. Plus ping issues here and there. With, judging by Pixels, driving into rocks and shooting into rocks. One and a half minute left to go before we go into the fourth game of this best of 9. Pressure is slowly building. No match point just yet, but we're getting very close there. P1 now taking 1 VK72, 5 Type 71s and 1 LT. And on the other side, we see the LTs have been taken out. We see 4 Type 71s, a Yo, an I7 and a 60 TP. And let's see how that's going to go, because P1 really needs to re-find their footing if they want to have any chance of winning this, because Risk is on fire. Bill just said, parlay! Oh, that's brilliant. Pretty sure they couldn't do that though. But I fully understand the sentiment and I like the reference. 15 seconds left. And then we see the fourth game. Come on, P1. And let's have a look. Obviously, when the chat gets busy, I can't read all the messages. So if there's anything important, make sure to tag me on Discord. And let's have a look. This is one of the few maps actually where spawn is not related to tank type. You can spawn anywhere in any tank type. And we have both teams heading towards the B area, A and B area, which could lead to either Apex now absolutely getting deleted, but they weren't pre-aimed. He loses a little bit of HP and tracks himself though. And we might just get a very early brawl going on. Apex losing a lot of HP, not wanting to be there anymore. Is probably about to get yeeted. And nothing he can do about it. And there he goes. Mandalorian finishes him off, and that's a gun disadvantage already. On the other side, we see Helix now getting focused on by Risk. At the same time, we've got Kappas taking hits from B1. Helix gets nuked. Theron not looking too healthy. Kappas is being wheeled down, but the focus fire from P1 is not quite there. There seem to be definite communication issues here. Mandalorian, not looking too healthy, does still get a shot in. Might be gone on the next reload. And we have Mandalorian trying to get out. Oof, he shoots the ground instead of Mandalorian, who survives another reload because of it. Pixels gets chased down, does survive another reload there. Oh, big hit into Firkin. There goes Mandalorian. Survived a lot longer than he should have. And we have Sugu now facing off with Kappas. Firkin gets taken out. There goes Sugu though. And now we have Kappas almost reloaded. I think his gun is broken because it took a very long time for him to reload. And it is 5 versus 2. 5 versus 1. And this game again is for Risk. Risk is on fire. He wants to take out Silver. Bounces that. And now he's just basically so many tanks around. There's no way he could win this. Even in a normal Kodobanov situation, that would be difficult. In a tour, it's definitely not happening. Kaiser is asking for the sirens. Haven't heard them yet today, luckily. But at the same time, P1 might need them. Because now, Risk is up for match point. If they win this next game, then they've won the grand finals 5-0. That would be, I mean, amazing by Risk. But you wouldn't wish that on anyone. All the regions use loads and loads of Type 71s. It's basically the meta. With some other tanks in between. But always a bunch of Type 71s. 1 minute and 12 seconds left to go. P1 is ready. With 4 Type 71s, 2 LTs and 1 Badger. And on the other side we see an IS-4, a Concept 1B, an LT, a Kranwagen, 2 Type 71s, and potentially a 60 TP. If Mandalorian readies up in that, of course. I mean, Risk has got to be on an all-time high here. These games are honestly they're very well played by Risk. But basically the lack of cohesion on P1 side is also allowing them to do that. The thing is, when you get to tools of this level, it's usually like one team makes a tiny mistake and the other team capitulates on that. In this case though, Risk is just like running over them. And here we go. Potentially the last game of the grand finals already. Risk up for match point. Pressure is on P1. And let's see. Erling with an extra eagle on the concept 1B. I might actually put it on there as well because it looks ridiculous and awesome that way. Risk heading towards the base C area, with Mandalorian going up and over the ridge. At the same time we've got Cobra heading towards base A in the Citadel, and most of P1 heading there as well, leaving alone Furkin to defend. Pixels on the hill. Furkin is very likely going to get rushed and will have no ability to defend himself because he's got no team there to defend him. They're not too eager to push, they are careful because they have been spotted. Furkin is like, I do not want to be here anymore. Holding carefully. Thing is though, they're going to notice that they're not being shot at right now. Both teams have a base. Furkin loses his first bit of HP. There's some crossfire from the Citadel. And now we have P1 returning. Risk's hesitation here actually allowed P1 to regroup and save Furkin. And they're hesitant to push him, but they didn't know that it took forever for those tanks to be there. Theron is there now. 57 pixels is holding. Styx gets spotted crossing the river. Base B is so far uncontested. But this here in the corner is for me the most interesting development here. Furkin getting saved by hesitance. Pixels got spotted there. That's always risky. We have the Badger there, of course. But Sugi is unspotted. For it to work, they kind of need people to be spotted. There we go. We got Silver landing a shot into Pixels. Pixels cannot stay up there now. Has to relocate. Badger is not spotted just yet, though. And the points are going up evenly. Styx gets spotted, takes a hit. Base B now being taken by Mandalorian. And they're very likely to get away with that, to be honest. Badger has now been spotted. Decides to drop off. Furkin takes a bit more hits. And now 2 bases have been kept by Risk, which puts even more pressure on P1 here. And can you imagine, had they known that Furkin was alone there for such a long time, they probably would have just rushed. We now have the Badger and Theron both there. Frost being careful, but still peeking out and over. Furkin still getting shot at, but so far in a safe-ish position. Thing is though, Styx losing more HP has to not be there anymore. With base B having been capped, like I said, the pressure is on. We're at 752 points for Risk. P1 will have to do something. They're steadily losing HP waiting. And now we have P1 slowly moving in. But they're moving into a lot of guns from Risk. Furkin has to join the fight, loses a lot of HP crossing over. Badger losing HP as well. Firkin almost gone. 856 points. This is a desperate move by P1 that they have no choice but to do. They're not focusing fire on any one target. They're shooting different targets, which is not going to be helpful. Juicy gets taken out, but so does Firkin. They're taking base C, which they have to. But we are 940 points. And look at the HP just vanishing. There goes Frost. They needed that. That's 2 guns. They got base C. They're fighting for base B. Styx gets taken out. Back to 940 points. It is very close. That not being a killing shot might be a problem, but there he goes. He gets hugged to death. A being capped by Erling to ensure victory. And now Silver and Cobra are both gone. Base B is still in Risk's hand. Mandalorian gets taken out. Base B, they need to cap it fast. Apex need to stay alive. Base B is capped. And there we go. P1 gets the game. And sorry, I didn't mean to sound so surprised, because this, basically, this was lost by Risk. Risk had all the advantages and they should have never been able to push like that. But it worked out with the kills and the base stealing and everything, and Erling going to base A was definitely needed, but it wasn't enough. The only one left alive as well. Wow. Well done, P1. So now the score is 4-1. Every single match here on out. Basically, Risk is up for match points. So you have to keep that in mind. I can't believe that game went like that. I bet they can't believe it either. P1 now taking a full Type 71 game for the second game on Camstilla. And on the other side we see 3 Type 71s, 2 60Ps, 1 LT and potentially, there we go, it's another LT. Amazingly done. Well done, P1. Oh, I like the chat. I mean, I always am game for tiebreakers, you know that. For the most part, when you get to this level and you've worked so hard, losing 4-0, 5-0, it's just painful and you deserve better. So regardless of what happens now, they got that one game. And I really am still hoping for a tiebreaker. Cobra, unreadying. There we go, it's back. 6 seconds left to go before we see what's going on in the 6th game of this best of 9. I really thought that they were going to roll over Firkin in the corner there. And let's see. Risk heading for the C area. P1 heading for the A area. They're going for the rock to see who is there. Silver is there to spot if they cross over. Decides to not be there because no one has been spotted near C. Apex and Firkin heading towards the middle to protect base B. Silver in the corner. C is being capped. Frost deciding not to go for the cap. Apex has been spotted. Has to be careful where he's at. That's a tricky position to hold. Shots are being fired. No damage has been done yet to Risk. And now we have Apex cheekily going into the base there. Oh, that's not the way you want to do it though. That is a lot of HP. He should have gone just a little bit further to use the houses. And he did not. Ouch. Base A is P1's though. And we have sticks crossing the river. Apex is in trouble, cannot get out of there. Styx loses a little bit of HP. Apex is now spotted. And we have Erling and Mandalorian. Both with very big guns here. Going for those kill shots. He does not get it. Takes a shot in turn. They're getting a bit in each other's way. Apex is still alive. Firkin pushed down. And we have Apex still in trouble. Gets shot from the other side now. Cobra losing a lot of HP. Firkin now being set upon. Base B does get reset. And we have Apex now. Again in trouble. Still in trouble maybe. And there we go. They took out both Apex and Cobra. Now Firkin is alone. He does take out Erling. But he's not going to live very long here on his own. Pushed against the building like this. He tries to not be there anymore, but he's very low on HP. And we have Frost now behind him. And that's going to be another kill. Juicy gets taken out as well. We have Styx arriving. And basically, look at how spread out P1 is. That is an issue on its own. Theron gets taken out. It is 3 versus 5. And I think it's fairly safe to say that unless something magical happens, he gets yeeted. This is Risk game. And Risk will be the champion of the Aces server. We can't really see that, so we're going to focus on Pixels. He gets taken out. And there goes Helix. And Risk is the grand champion from the Aces server. Congratulations! These games, I'm so glad that P1 got that game. In all ways, shapes and form. And in this case, I think it was lost mainly because P1 was everywhere. They couldn't really push anywhere coherently together because they were just too spread out. And Risk just used that. And I know what you all are waiting for, so I'm going to show that. And there you go. It's the code. But massive congratulations to Risk. You are the grand champion from the new way to play tournament for the Asia server. Basically summer season winner. And people now get codes. Very well played there though by Risk. They were literally on fire. Almost all the matches. The only one where Risk was like lost was the one that P1 won. Amazing. Amazing games, honestly. I hope you guys enjoyed the games as well. I know most of you are here for the code, but I hope you legit enjoyed the games as well. And this is the thing, like, basically, at some point it just unfolds so quickly. And I think, yeah, P1 was just too split up, unable to support each other, and Risk was moving more together. It makes all the difference here. And these games, basically, Risk very deservedly champion. Like, it's... You can see how good they are. And then you get deservedly champion. So with regards to the code, I really hope that RNG will be with you. That you are going to get something good out of it. I do not know how fast the code will run out. I do not know how much the limit is. I don't think Wargaming upped it because they keep holding on to the principle of they want basically the viewers to be able to get the code. But as soon as we share it, it gets shared elsewhere as well. So if you do not redeem it now, like instantly, then you might miss out. And that being said, like with the EU and the RU streams, apparently the server keeps overloading the website. So then that derps out as well. And then by the time it actually works for people again, the code is gone. And it's just so... I really wish that they would just put a time limit. Like, give it an hour. When we release the code, have the code be active for an hour, however many people redeem it, and then stop it. Even if it's like half an hour, that's fine too. We can tell you, this is only active for half an hour, so make sure to redeem it within that time. It's a bit frustrating for our streams as well. I never knew that members of a channel do not have slow mode. That's good though. Happy with that. Lots of GGs in the chat. I do feel sorry for P1, but I'm really glad that they got that game. And Risk deservedly won. Fantastically played. Now the code is there. On stream, I mean. Because there's always like delay. We use at least 3 minutes delay. Agassi immediately typing it in the chat. That is helpful because people can copy it then. Mutsu sharing the link. Well done. Thank you. So yeah, I'm just going to give it a few more minutes and then I'll end the stream. If people have been watching, they will have the code now. Well, you're very welcome. Like I said, I really hope RNG is with you when you open them. Because there's some good stuff in there, but at the same time the drop rate is always very low for the good stuff. No, Akasi, he means 9k in total, 3 days. I'm glad some people are actually here for the tour games as well and have enjoyed it. Livestream is going to end soon, yes. Because this is kind of like, there's not much more to show you. We've had all the games, you've had the code. And Risk is Grand Champion, let's have a... It's not actually showing there anymore, but... Look at that! Risk Champion. Whoop whoop. So yeah, that's it for me this season. This was my last stream this season because, like I said, I did not get to commentate EU today. So basically, that will be on the official channel later today, commentated by His Royal Fatness and Fishy. Both great people, so definitely worth your support as well. There will be a global code on that stream which will be active for pretty much all servers, or at least NA, EU and Asia. And that's basically it. We can't do much more than that. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for the support throughout the season. Thank you for all the kind messages. Not so much for the hate messages, but definitely for the kind messages. I hope to see you all again in autumn season. I hope you did enjoy all the games. Thank you for all the teams on all the servers that I streamed. For the amazing gameplay that we've seen. And best of luck to BPS and Loka later today. But for now, I'm going to wish you all a very good day. I'm going to congratulate Risk once again. Massive congratulations. Commiserations to P1, but massive I can't word anymore. GG. Massive congratulations to Risk. You've been absolutely awesome, and these games, you very deservedly won this. Amazingly played, very clever gameplay, and it's been an absolute joy. So I will see you all later. Wish you all a very good day, and for now I say bye bye.